Everybody, good morning. This is our astrology weather forecast for the 19th of October, 2024. We have the moon going through Taurus today, entering Gemini around 3 p.m. Eastern time. The moon is conjunct to Uranus. So before we get into the chatty affability of Gemini, there is a general mood to the day of emotional innovation. Those are not words we usually hear together, because the moon we associate with the past, Uranus we associate with the future, and with being present in the moment, in those present moments that the future comes out of. So we are more likely to be open to new avenues of personal exchange, going left where maybe we would normally go right. It's easier to adopt different patterns of thinking and feeling and intuiting when we have these two together, because there's a comfortable association with what is exciting. There's not so much the motivation to just hit repeat, because that gets very boring with Moon-Uranus combinations. And with the conjunction, we have the fusion of feelings and we have also got a double in conjunction to the Sun. We have a separating in conjunction from the Sun to Uranus and an applying in conjunction from the Sun to Neptune. Really interesting stuff. So this is about a 3-day period of time where we're really looking at self-sacrifice, deep forgiveness, justified or unjustified compassion. It really depends on what's going on in your life. Where are you in your stage of spiritual development? Where are you when it comes to your ability to be yourself, even if it disappoints the people around you? Where are you when it comes to being a sovereign self? If you're struggling with dependency issues, or perhaps making some choices so you can be accepted rather than authentic, we can really feel bound over these days. You can feel bound by how we've enslaved ourselves to acceptance. If we're not choosing ourselves, if we're choosing the false ego structures that we've put in place, because it hurts too much to change, it takes too much to change, it's humiliating, we will be worse humiliated over these days by the choices that we make. The self-abandoning choices that we make. What we do for love, what we do for acceptance, what we do to avoid rejection, that can all feel like a death. Because when we make choices, we're choosing others, acceptance, dependency, choosing to have our ego soothed. And we're giving up what we really want, what we really think, what we really feel, our real opinions, in order to have that acceptance, in order to feel seen. It can feel like we are putting ourselves into our own coffin and choosing to pull the lid over onto our own self and seal ourselves in. There's so much grief that we can feel when it comes to choosing romantic delusion, acceptance, ego gratification over what's real. We can really, really feel like we are murdering parts of ourselves. And it brings a lot of us to a crescendo of self-abandonment. We have to really question, is this worth it to me? Maybe it always has been. Maybe it has been. Have I grown out of this? Am I strong enough to be seen as the bad guy? Am I strong enough to deal with my shadow aspects of self? So we have a lot of personal weakness, character weakness, that becomes extremely obvious when we have a double in conjunction like this. And we can choose acceptance or we can choose strength. And we will have to sacrifice some people's opinions of us. But it's worth it. Even if they have to reframe how they see us, they'll reframe it with respect. We have to choose self-respect if we want external respect. So look really carefully at, are you serving because you want to? Or are you serving because you feel like you're dealing with some guilt? And if you serve enough, if you're in service to all the creatures of the world, if you're in service to others, is that in service to guilt that you don't want to address because you might have to change? Choosing change rather than acceptance is how we rescue ourselves from our own coffin. If you are somebody who knows what you want, you are somebody who understands who you are, these can be very spiritual days. These can be days where we give up more because we see the wisdom in it. It's not for guilt. It's for the good. It's for the good of all of us. Because what we do for self, we do for others. Dealing with your own guilt, your own shame, your own generational garbage, your collected plutonic crap is a community service. It is the biggest, greatest, most magnanimous community service that we could ever do. Give up your personal garbage and recycle it. Compost it into something that is useful. That we can all benefit from. Because unhealed Pluto is where everybody pays. Everybody pays. And you never get rich. Everybody pays you. But you never get rich. Choosing divine guidance over the guidance of guilt is how we lighten our load. I'll leave you with that. I'll see you guys tomorrow.